Hello, my name is Alex the Polymath. Today this presentation will be on exponents and their properties. So just as a brief little introduction, I'm just going to go over exponents, their basics, again. So squaring a number, making a number to the power of 2, is basically the same thing as multiplying a number by itself. So here's an example in my head that I just made. X squared would equal x times x. And here are a few more examples. 3 squared would equal 3 times 3, which equals 9. So 3 squared would equal 9. And then there's 7 squared, which would equal 7 times 7, which equals 49. So 7 squared equals 49. Then there's 10 squared. 10 squared equals 10 times 10, which equals 100. How do you multiply exponents? Well, first, they have to have the same base, so they can't just be like 5 to the power of 7 times 4 to the power of 6. That won't work. But you could do x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 3, which is the next example here. X to the power of 2 times x to the power of 3 equals x to the power of 5. Because when you multiply the exponents of the same base, you add the exponents together to get the result. So x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 3 equals x to the power of 5. And similarly, 6 to the power of 0 times 6 to the power of 9 equals 6 to the power of 9, because 0 plus 9 equals 9. Similarly, there's dividing exponents with the same base. The difference is that you have to subtract the exponents instead of adding the exponents. So here's an example. 7 to the power of 8 divided by 7 to the power of 2 equals 7 to the power of 6. Because 8 minus 2 equals 6. 4 to the power of 7 times divided by 4 to the power of 5 equals 4 to the power of 2. If you wanted to go further, you could do 4 to the power of 2, which equals 16. But for simplicity purposes, we just want to go to the exponent form for now. How does 0 fit into the exponent world? Well, any number to the power of 0 just equals 1. So take, for example, x to the power of 0. That would just equal 1. Similarly, 1 to the power of 0 equals 1. And 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. And 77 to the power of 0 also equals 1. And 999,999,999 to the power of 0 equals 1. So anything to the power of 0 just equals 1. What are negative exponents? A negative exponent is basically just a number to the power of a negative number. But it must be, if you have a negative exponent, it must be turned into a positive and put into a denominator of a fraction. That sounds a little bit complicated. So I'm going to do it 1 over the, so that just basically means 1 over the number to the power of the exponent, but you turn the negative into a positive. So 4 to the power of negative 2 would equal 1 over 4 to the power of 2, and that equals 1 to the power of 16. And similarly, y to the power of negative 2 would equal 1 over y squared. Let's do a few practice problems. So the first question is, what is 2 to the power of 0? Anything to the power of 0 equals 1, so 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. And that is the answer. What is x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 3? Well, you have to subtract the exponents. So 7 minus 3 equals 4, so it should be x to the power of 4. And that is the answer. And the final question on this page is, what is 6 to the power of negative 2? Well, you have to put it in a fraction in the denominator and turn the negative into a positive. So it should be 1 over 6 squared, which equals 1 over 36. There are a few more practice problems I'd like to do. What is x to the power of 0? Well, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So x to the power of 0 just equals 1 again. And what is z squared over z cubed? Well, you must subtract. So 2 minus 3 equals negative 1. So you get z equals negative 1. And that just equals 1 over z, because z, you have to take the negative and put it into the denominator. What is x to the power of 9 times x to the power of 7? Well, you have to add the exponents. 9 plus 7 equals 16, so it is x to the power of 16 is the answer. Okay. So this presentation is finished. Thank you for watching.